January 1 tariffs go into effect, and then pay only the 10%, or B, to the extent there are products that have not yet been touched, to get those, to make a hedge and build up some stockpiles in advance of further trade sanctions issued by the United States. That is absolutely true. And it's certainly true in, other sectors, and given the nature of the market for chemicals and plastics, it does not surprise me that those orders are being placed in advance as well.
And
so, yeah,
what
if you look at
what proportion of the overall imports from China, like what the U.S. used to have from China, what percentage of that at the moment received an increase in tariffs?
About half right now. So if the numbers are roughly, and these are general numbers, but roughly half a trillion, you're looking at about 250-ish billion.
And at the moment is around 10% across the board.
No, it's 10% across the board for kind of the third list of products that went into effect as at the end of September. The first, and that goes to, so basically the way it broke down is there have been effectively 3 stages of tariff measures that have been imposed on imports of China up to this point. The first was about 16 billion, then that increased to 50 billion, and now it's up to 200 and 250 billion. So the first 2 tranches, and there's differing lists. Those are all subjected to 25% tariff measures right now. The last list of measures, which is the largest one, which is the $200 billion worth of imports. We're talking about 6,000 different tariff lines roughly, but far more products than tariff lines. That was, right now that's at 10%, and it has been for 10% for about, going on 2 months now. That's going to go to the full 25% in January.
Okay. And then just in terms of finally the implications and the distortions on top of the flows. So, maybe let's start with the flows. So, is there any estimation of what that could mean in terms of, I don't know if there's any statistics on what, again, would finally, any kind of studies on the implication, what does that mean that finally, I don't know, the U.S. will import 20% less from China? I know this is very difficult to predict, and all those studies are very imprecise until it finally materializes, but is there any kind of indication in that respect?
So,
and obviously this is difficult for different product groups and so on, but...
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And it's one that right now is, inherently uncertain because those studies have not been done, in part because it's impossible for them to model simply because there's a lagging, effect here with these tariffs. The first couple of tranches have only been in effect for a few months. The third tranche, even when it goes up to 25%, that's a forward-looking indicator. And so, it's hard. It's very hard, and even folks in the various trade associations, they do not have hard numbers, and it's really very just general speculation right now as to the extent to which this could kind of, basically close off the U.S. market, promote U.S. production, et cetera, especially from China. And the reality is part of that uncertainty is not just flows, it's displacement and diversion, right? So,